better at League, and grinding the League ladder. In today's video, what we have prepared for you guys is all the underrated picks that our Challenger analysts think are just super underrated right now in the current meta. And although our Challenger analysts are almost always right, sometimes they miss an underrated pick or two, so why don't you tell me down below what you guys think is the most underrated pick in the game right now. For me, in my elo, you guys are gonna kill me for saying this, I think that Teemo is an underrated pick. He is a great counter pick to a ton of top lane champions at the moment, and he sucks. I hate him. But he's underrated because everyone hates him, but he's actually pretty good. In some matchups at least. And for my daily coronavirus spiel, there's a lot of stuff going on right now. There's a lot of question marks up in the air. I know a lot of people are getting laid off. I want to know down below what you guys are going through, if you guys are quarantined, if all of you guys are safe. Let us know down below. Me and the team would love to know, and hopefully we can help support you guys. And you guys know the drill. If you want to get better at League of Legends this season, make sure to go to proguides.com and find your Challenger coach right now. They are going to help you with your climb. They're going to help you identify what you're doing wrong so you can win more games. Everyone wants to win. I want to win. You want to win. They want to help you win. Go over there and have some fun. All right, let's get into the video. Coming in at the top of our underrated picks is going to be Urgot. Urgot received buffs to his Q slow duration and his E stun duration this patch, which means that his CC will be a little bit more reliable and give him some extra time to gun down his enemies. It's been a while since he's been relevant, so you probably have some time to abuse him as a sleeper pick before most of the player base catches on. Aside from these buffs, Urgot is pretty well suited to playing against the tankier top laners, so the stars are aligning for League's favorite shotgun crabman. He has a lot of sustained damage, so his synergy with Conqueror makes him pretty hard to kill, especially with the new changes to Death's Dance, making it more of a defensive item. Give this crabman a try, you will not regret it. Volibear is our second top lane pick. If you've tuned into our counterpick video, you already know what he's about. For those of you who don't know, Volibear is rocking a clean 53% win rate in Plat Plus for the top lane. Part of this is because he's a great counter pick against a lot of the meta top laners due to his ability to cancel their mobility, but with odd champions like Volibear, there's always a part of his success that can be attributed to the simple fact that people don't really know how to play against him. He has a weird combination of abilities, but his movement speed buff paired with his attack speed on his W and health regen passive make him a more than capable bruiser in the top lane. Volibear is due for his rework sometime in the coming months, so get the free low while it's hot, and Volibear is still being underutilized by the masses. Poppy is our first underrated jungle pick, and completely uncoincidentally, she also has one of the highest base damages of any tank. Poppy is an absolute behemoth of a champion, and killing her is no small task. This is partially because she has such great defensive stats, but also because she takes electrocute. She also has the burst damage she needs to win 1v1s in the jungle, more than most tanks do. Aside from her ridiculous damage, Poppy also contributes a ton of utility to her teams by blocking enemy mobility with her W and knocking enemies away with her ult. She's a peeling machine, guys. She fits in well with the current meta, and even though a lot of people haven't caught on, she's the complete package. Once you learn how to use her ult to split up fights properly, you are all set. Hecarim is underrated jungler number 2. Hecarim received a buff to his ult this patch, and his high-range ults can now fear targets for an entire 2 seconds. That doesn't sound like a long time at first, but in the context of League of Legends, where 2 seconds can mean taking thousands of damage, it can feel like an eternity. Hecarim has a nice and healthy early clear, and he has pretty formidable early ganks. He's also one of the fastest Conqueror stacking champions in the game, so he can get into a fight and stay in it. His ult is also one of the better team fighting abilities in the game, since it lets you apply a fear to multiple people in its area of effect. As an additional side note, the buffs to TP included the addition of movement speed after teleporting. Also be on the lookout for Hecarim top to make a comeback with these new movement speed empowered teleport plays. Also someone in our recent counterpicks video, Zilean is our first underrated mid laner. We've seen him a bit in recent pro play, but he retains a shockingly low play rate in solo queue. Zilean isn't a fancy champion, and he's not the most entertaining, let's be real. But if you're someone who likes to be the low-key carry, saving your teammates' lives and enabling them, but not getting any of the credit, then Zilean is for you. His double bombs let him wave clear safely and effectively, and his movement speed lets him rotate quickly to join up in any fight. His ultimate is his signature move, of course, and using it to resurrect a carry in the current meta of longer drawn-out teamfights is more impactful than ever. He's a solid answer to some of the more dominant mid lane picks, but the safety he offers in general is always a plus. And Zilean is one of the best champions for baiting enemies, and that's always worth a laugh. Morgana is underrated mid lane champion number 2. On patch 10.6, Morgana received buffs to her movement speed and her black shield. These buffs were mostly aimed at helping her support, but in combination with the buffs she received for the jungle, Morgana is not only the same safe CC heavy mid lane pick, but she's also an incredibly valuable flex pick now that she can be tossed between 3 roles. In the mid lane though, Morgana can max W in unfavorable matchups for the free wave clear, then just roam to other lanes and get leads there. In better matchups, she's free to max Q for that hard-hitting root. Regardless of matchup though, her black shield and her ult are invaluable tools for her team, and we'll probably be seeing a little bit more of her soon. Kog'Maw is our first underrated champ for the bot lane, and he often goes hand in hand with tank metas when they arrive. Kog'Maw is one of the league's best hyper carry marksmen, and he's been untouched for so long that he's actually surprisingly strong even in the laning phase. Most hyper carries thrive after they've had some time to scale up, and Kog isn't any different. But he's also more than capable of popping off early. With a strong frontline protecting him while lethal tempo is active, you basically end up with an untouchable barrage of absurd DPS. Aside from his natural damage scaling, his Q shreds defensive stats, and his W lets him deal max health percentage damage with his autos. So he's a great choice for annihilating front and backliners alike. Did I mention that he can also throw up a slowing area of acid to help keep space between him and potential assailants? I did not mention that. He can also do that, which is great. When targets try and run away, his ult is an artillery shot that deals execute damage, so no one escapes his hunger. Speaking of the importance of farming, Veigar is our second bot lane pick. This may sound weird at first, but this pick is actually more geared towards lower elo, where players don't know how to properly abuse Veigar's vulnerability. In gold and lower, he's free to sit bot lane and farm AP with his Q until he becomes a late game one-shotting monster. His E offers an incredible amount of utility with its stun, and it's also one of the best anti-engage measures in the game. Outside of that, Veigar just has damage. Give Veigar 10 minutes of unfiltered Q farming and tell me how happy you are with that choice. Sooner or later, he'll reach the point where he gets to just press R on you and watch you disappear. This is a particularly good pick for players who have been auto-filled into the ADC role, since you don't really have to worry quite as much about micro compared to playing as a regular marksman. Our final cameo from our counter picks list into our underappreciated category is Maokai support. Maokai is still a sleeper OP pick in just about every sense, but he's deceptively good. He's got a Q that can be used to peel your carry, or combined with your W to knock an enemy closer for ganks. His E saplings provide excellent zone control, as well as acting as free wards to keep you and your carry safe. Finally, his ultimate is a nice wide long-range CC that can be used to either engage or disengage, however you see fit. He's tanky, he's got a ton of CC, his passive keeps him healthy in lane. There's just so much to love about Maokai, but so few people are giving him the chance that he deserves. Insert Nathan joke here. Alistar is our final underrated pick, and he's been causing chaos in the support role once again. After some mild buffs in recent patches, Alistar has continued to show promise as an up-and-coming pick for any support looking to take the game head-on. His health received a small buff, and the sustain on his passive also got some love, meaning he has a more comfortable laning phase against enemies raining down abuse on him. Alistar is an excellent playmaking champion with his W plus Q combo to set up kills, plus his E stun to follow up. If he needs to switch onto the defense, the knockup on his Q and knockback on his W are more than enough to dispatch most threats. His ultimate is a defensive steroid that can also cleanse CC, and it shines particularly well in tower dives. Alistar is a great pick into squishy enchanters who don't want to get all in, or it can even be used as a counter to Leona, one of the more prominent supports at the moment. Alright guys, that is it for our underrated picks for patch 10.6. If you guys enjoyed this video, please leave us a like and consider subscribing to the channel for more content like this. And once again, if you want to get better at League of Legends, go to proguides.com, we got you covered. That's it for the video, thank you so much for watching, good luck in your next few games, and I'll see you on the Rift.